No music. No music. All right. Episode 6. Coming to you live from
Cafe Villages Studios.
You gotta say it with a little bit of Barry White in your breath.
Cafe Ledger. Get it?
Hey. It's your boy Will.
And Berto.
Berto, episode 6.
Live and direct.
Live and direct. And we are here to talk about
And not Cardi B's mom. Cardi B's daughter.
what?
Cardi B's daughter's name is Culture.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're not talking about her. We're talking about the culture. One time for the culture. Cheers to the culture.
Cheers to the culture, guys. Cheers to you.
Thanks for tuning in. As always, yes, we can't make up our mind on where the fuck to sit. So
Yeah.
this might work out though.
This might work out. We'll see.
Feels a little bit comfortable.
Hopefully it works out. But, who gives a shit? Just sit back and listen and watch.
Tired of the critics, damn it.
Yeah.
It's episode 6, alright? We've been
Episode
doing
6.
5 episodes.
We're working. Let us get to 10. I think by 10 we'll have it figured out.
Yeah, and if we don't, we don't.
I mean, if we don't, we don't. We're not fucking perfect. Jesus Christ.
But anyways,
All right, Mom.
what we got in store today, man?
Today, we let the people know that we had a very eventful weekend.
Yes, we did.
Had your little B-Day.
Why are you trying to play me? Why is it little? Why are you trying to say my little B-Day? You know those are fighting words. When you try to say
Well,
that,
I wasn't meaning that. Actually, yeah, I think I just said that without thinking. Sorry, we had this huge rager. There was 7 kegs of fucking Keystone Light.
Saturday was good, man. I'm glad that we made it happen. I was happy to see everybody. I think we had a good ass time. For one, not that we just forgot about COVID, but it was good just to be outside and just free kind of thing, man.
Get that sense of just togetherness.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird. Being in because I've gone to bars and shit like that since COVID, obviously, but this was the first house party that I was everyone was just chilling outside, just chilling, vibing out. The weather was perfect.
The weather was perfect. Shout out to my leather jacket that everybody was fucking clowning me on.
Yeah, you were like a fucking ventriloquist doll.
It was my birthday, I don't care. I was gonna get my pics and I was gonna take it off.
Yeah.
Shout out to Goons calling me a roasted Ben Neal all night.
Yeah.
I was dying. I wasn't gonna lie, I was dying in that shit. But yeah, man, it was good to see everybody, man. I love, like I said, just having people over, and the type of friends we have is so good because everybody's so different.
Yeah, there was a lot of diversity there.
Yeah, and it's good, man. It's a lot of people, they love our culture. They just love a good time, and I think that all ties into what a good time should be. It shouldn't be oh, I don't dance this music if a merengue song comes on. It's we adapt to everything. There was salsa.
Now, when you said our culture, you mean Dominican culture?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just the culture that I kind of adapted to, because I feel you also adapt to different cultures. The way that we dress is not Dominican. Hell no. Dominicans dress with zapatitos, extremely tight jeans, with
a
mad fake everything, mad fake belt.
Aeropostale, fucking polo shit.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say our culture as far as Dominican. I just think.
I don't know, man. I feel Dominicans have a very diverse. I feel and this may be, I don't know, this may be a biased perception, but I feel if you throw a Dominican into different pools of different ethnicities and races and all this shit, I think that we can vibe with a lot of different people.
Yep.
You throw us into a Haitian party, or you throw us into a Puerto Rican party or Venezuelan party. We can, I don't know, I just feel we're very
adaptable.
We can mold very easily.
Yeah.
But people fuck with us.
For one, we're not gonna solely, just talk about Dominicans, even though we're low key as shit. But when you think about right, as far as music goes, right, with Dominicans, we have bachata, which is ours.
Fire.
Merengue típico, ours. Salsa, there's different salsa artists and some Puerto Ricans, a lot of Puerto Rican salsa. But we still have Dominican salsa artists. When it comes to music alone, we're just so diverse in that kind of
Dembo.
dembo. That's what I'm saying. It's like we're tapping. Like you said, we can just adapt. So we're slowly tapping into everything.
Juan Guerra.
That's the goal.
Well, that's like he's in everything.
Yeah.
Like he's in bachata, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of greats, man. I think that Dominicans have a lot of greats, and overall we just have like having a good time. So that's what kind of allows us to blend in with Cubans, with Puerto Ricans, with Colombians, white, but especially black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like people from the islands really click with people like with our black people.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like again, it goes to like culture. We're most likely dressing the same as the black crew. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't understand how much impact the black culture does have.
I think a lot of people know. I just think that they're not trying to
give them the credit for it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you guys, and a lot of shit is copied off of black culture.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like a lot of people are not trying to give that credit out.
Yeah, a lot of foundation comes from like Africa. You know.
So it's like it's also because some people can like make something off of something that's already been made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, you did make it, but you didn't. You made like a version of it, but you didn't really make it. So it's like, I can make a better table than this, but the person that came up with a fucking table, like that's the person that deserves the credit because it's like they made that. This didn't exist.
And you kind of capitalized off of that was already done.
Exactly. You made it, and I'm not discrediting like your creativity that you went off and made like maybe even a better version.
Yeah.
But the fact that the person that came up with the actual ideas, like that person deserves all the credit because it was never there. They made it. There's like, how the hell do you have the vision?
And people have the audacity to say, oh yeah, they made it, but I made it better. Like, it's not about a competition. Like at the end of the day, everybody's out for their own things, but I think that when it comes to certain things, I think, I'm starting to become a big fan of jazz.
I put you on. Tell me I didn't put you on.
You put me on.
Wait, let me take off my...
You put me on, Will. Jazz is... There's so much history in jazz, and I'm starting to really enjoy learning about it because I hear jazz in other music now, and I'm like, wait, now, have you heard the originals? You know what I mean? Like,
there's no jazz clubs in Miami, is there?
I don't know if I could be wrong, but there used to be not a club. It used to be like a lounge,
It's usually like a little hole in the wall bar. Like,
it used to be called Ball and Chain. I think I'm like 90% sure.
No, they do. I did actually. Now that I think about it, I looked up jazz like bars a while back, and Ball and Chain did pop up, but Ball and Chain closed down.
They closed down. Yeah, during COVID they closed down. But the year before that, like 2019, like they were known for like I think it was like a Wednesday night. I think Flash was the one that told me about that because he lived in Ottawa for some years, and it was like dope, man. Like you pull up, it's like.
Have you ever been?
I've been.
Like not to there, but in general, like a jazz club.
I don't think I've been to like a live jazz club. No,
bro. I went to one in Chicago, and I have never. I can't say I've never, but like the peace and the fucking just good vibe energy that was in that place, like. It's really dark in there. It's a little hole in the wall place. Like the fucking seats are like barely hanging up. Like, but everything was just like the lady that was singing. It was like her and her band. I have never like witnessed something like that where I sat there and I was like, her music was like making me warm. If that makes any sense. Like I was sitting there like, yo, like this lady is just has me in her like, she has control of me.
Yeah.
And I have never witnessed that before in my life, but like Chicago's really big on jazz and blues and shit. But I was like, I would like to find a place like that here in Miami that I can go to like on a Tuesday night and just have a few drinks. I'll go with my damn self.
Yeah.
And just vibe out to just some jazz music.
I mean, I don't doubt that it's gonna happen pretty soon because jazz is also known for not worrying about like having a big place, having the right setting. Like they just like the low key vibe, kind of like cigar bar with a twist of like a speakeasy. Kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I can't even remember. I probably have been to one here, but I don't even remember. So, but I enjoy it, I enjoy it. And again, it's just that type of jazz music that we're talking about, like, has led to a lot of music. And I mean, we can go on and on about that, but I think that culture goes in so many different directions,
But speaking of culture, we talked, I think, earlier about Coca-Cola.
Yes. So if you guys want to follow,
I don't know if you guys heard about this, but
latest news on Adventure Studios brought to you live.
this coming up at 8:55. Coca-Cola is being slammed right now for a diversity training program that urges workers to be less white.
Quote unquote for the ones listening. He just put up
quotation marks, less white. It's actually pretty trippy to see that they're kind of going down that direction.
How do you interpret that though? How do you feel about that? What message do you get when you read it?
Well, when I first heard it, it was kind of like less white. Does that mean where they want people to be more cultured? Like in a sense, like, you know, when you say a white person in today's society, you just think of someone who can't dance, can't play sports or some shit, or just has no rhythm, no style, no nothing or whatever. Not saying that that's true whatsoever, but I'm saying like society has pushed certain agendas in certain ways that like now it's almost like to be white is to be like corny.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
It depends because there's a lot going on right now.
Obviously, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying off of what is being like the agendas that are being pushed with like media and, you know, all of this turmoil that's going on with like different cultures and shit. It's almost like that is the enemy.
Yeah.
The white is the enemy, and it's like.
It's like for example, just to like say an example that's relevant, like the whole Karen thing that's going on, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that is an example of like, when I hear Coca-Cola saying that, to me, it's just like, I think they're putting their foot forward and saying, Karens are really here. You know what I mean? Like, that group of quote unquote white people, they're really taking over in a bad way. Yeah. So when you first read that to me, I was like, wow, that's pretty racist from Coca-Cola to say. But then you continue to read it, and I was like, oh wait, they're actually calling them out, which is a good thing.
The article I'm looking at right now, it's the New York Post, and who knows if this is real shit. But the list of confronting racism, it's to be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, and break with white solidarity.
Goddamn, let's confidence in that, man.
Whoever wrote that shit.
That boy went in.
Yo, find this guy for me.
Yo.
What's this guy's IG?
Yeah, what's his LinkedIn?
Yo. But you know, but again, that was written perfect.
They were created by Dr. D'Angelo. That's his name.
Whoa.
What's his first name? Don't know.
Doctor. That's all you need to know.
Franco.
Cheers to Dr. D.
Hey, Dr. D.
Dr. D. Shout out to Dr. D. Goddammit.
My boy went in.
I think it's beautiful. You know, we've talked about a lot about racism and stuff, and it's real. You know, we're dealing, especially people like us, minorities. You know what I mean? Like it's something that we see too often, and it was getting worse. You know, and you know, I know we don't want to go into like political talk and all that stuff, but
definitely not gonna get political. But I do have a question. Have you ever experienced racism in any way, shape?
Absolutely.
Like here or up north?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, more here. 1,000% here.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yes, because here, the difference between up north and here, like here, I've gotten out of the hood, so now I'm that black person in a white neighborhood. So it's like I experience it more because now I look like an outsider, you know, like
compared to like being in the Bronx or some shit.
Yeah,
where you blend in.
Yeah, where there's majority or Dominicans, Hispanics, like there's so much diversity. There's so many minorities in New York. It's crazy. Like I'll have a Chinese roommate, and you know I have a Puerto Rican, you know, in the basement. Like it's so normal over there. But here it's like little by little it's kind of sectioning off. And you know, in Kendall's very diverse also, but like I said, the part that I live in, it's not so much Hispanic as I would think. So yeah, I experience that all the time, especially now in the business that I'm in, where I'm constantly meeting people of different race and ethnicities and all that stuff that are majority white.
What's the worst that you've encountered? Somebody call you
A cop.
fucking Coca-Cola?
No, I've never. It's never gone to that extreme. But I have fallen into the whole race car with just like a white police officer. Unfortunately, it's not one of those things where it escalated where you beat my ass. And I had to sue the state or the city. But it's one of those things where it did escalate, and it was solely on racism. It was like a simple traffic stop escalated for nothing. I'm one that I believe that you carry yourself well, things should go. But I also seen the other side where it's like you carry yourself well, you're very respected or respectable, and it still goes sour.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me. So absolutely, I've witnessed that shit here more than in New York.
I remember, and I'm light skinned, so put it this way. I'm the leche, he's the cafe. I'm like 2% milk. But I remember the first time I came to Florida, I did a road trip from Providence. Went to Atlanta, and then we went to PCB, Panama City Beach in Florida for spring break.
Yeah.
Fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
Super fucking wild. But I remember, I think it was somewhere like past Tallahassee or some shit. But we stopped at a truck stop.
Probably
literally like probably Gainesville, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But we literally stopped at this truck stop, straight movie style. Like most of my cousins are probably around your color, maybe even darker, honestly. I'm the mixed white duckling of the family, me and my brother, so more light skinned than most of our family. But I'm one of the rest. They're all dark skinned. So we walk into this truck stop to get gas and like get some food. Movie style, everyone shuts up.
Everything stopped. You hear the music.
I was like, I thought that shit was only in the movies. I'm talking about stopped. Like, everyone just looking. I was like, okay, I don't feel comfortable here. And I'm light skinned. So, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, holy shit. But, I have a beard. We're all like wearing like hats and shit. And,
Tattoos
like,
and shit.
not wearing anything camo, not wearing any Carhartt, put it that way. Fucking, so I'm like, okay, let's get whatever the fuck we need and get out of here right now. I'll wait to eat and we'll go to the next stop.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I ever really like witnessed it first on. I did have a racist coach back in the day though, when I was playing baseball. But that's neither here nor there. I can't talk about that. He's political now. Yeah, dude, it was just that was the one that hit, and I was like, damn, that's fucked up. And like I said, it's like it hit me, and I don't have to, obviously, I don't deal with that as much as most other people, but it was definitely an eye opener.
Yeah. I've seen it a lot of times, especially in different states. I tell people in Miami we're sort of luckier because we don't see the crazy. Like
I haven't seen somebody get lynched and shit here. Like Miami, people are in their own world here a lot of times. But you go up anything past like.
I feel like Orlando. Orlando's like the cutoff point to the top.
Honestly, I wasn't even gonna go that far.
Really?
I was gonna say anything past Broward.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Because so there's so many West Palm, like up
there. Yeah. Because it's like West Palm for one, it's such a small city. And it's like West Palm is known as a quote unquote retirement city. Like what Miami used to be back in the days.
Yeah.
So it's like little by little, as they kind of like, migrating or whatever, you call it, that they start getting that shock. They're kind of like what's this guy doing?
What are you guys doing here?
And I felt that feeling before, especially like the road trips, like you said. I've taken a road trip back and forth to New York, and it's like it never fails. I always get pulled over in South Carolina or North Carolina.
West Virginia.
Or Virginia, exactly. I was like, this is like a thing. And it's like automatic. It's like, I pulled you over and
because I'm black?
I mean, I was going over, I know I'm not going over speed limit because it's cruise control. So it's like, but I already know where it's going. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know what? No, I don't, officer, not at all. And it's one of those things where it's like, regardless of what I said, I'm getting a fat ass ticket.
Yeah.
Because of, they're going to capitalize on that.
I got a fat ass ticket in Panama City Beach.
Speeding ticket?
No, I was drunk like a fucking pig, and I was riding a rented scooter, and I went in the breakdown lane for some reason, and the guy like pulled me over, and he's like, oh, mind you, just for dialect, the guy looked spitting image of Peter Griffin from Family Guy. Literally, the glasses, their police suits were green pants and white shirt.
Oh my god.
Everything, fat, face, everything, just the voice he didn't have. And he's like, hey man, hey, whatever. He's like, yeah man, you want in the breakdown lane? Being mad cool with me. I'm like, oh, this dude's actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you from Rhode Island? He's like, yeah man, I used to go to Rhode Island all the time. So I'm like, oh, I'm lit. I'm
getting out of this one.
I'm honestly. All of a sudden, I just start seeing like he had a little thing printed out. A thing. I was like, "Am I getting a ticket?" He's like, "Oh yeah, definitely get a ticket." I was like, "Bro, it was like $170 ticket."
But it was for what was the ticket for?
For going on the breakdown lane on a scooter. Doesn't make any sense. But I couldn't fight it. I mean, he's like, "Oh, if you want to fight it, you can come next week." I'm like, "Bro, I'm leaving like in 2 days."
And that's the worst part, because when they see your license, they know.
And you have to go back to the state to fight it.
Exactly.
Like you can't just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna just pay." No. You got a court hearing.
Yeah. So I had to fucking eat that charge.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's one of those things that we experience, you know.
Sure,
But going back to, let's bring it back to the culture, though, you know.
I'm sorry.
Nah. I mean, because it's gonna tie culture, racism, all that ties into a lot of things that we talk about, you know. So we didn't drift off. I think it was a great example.
Well, I mean, speaking of culture, our boy, man, he got released today.
Shout out to Schmurda.
Easy.
I would throw my hat, but I got
no, that's one time.
Fucking mics off.
Yeah, man. I mean, how do you feel about that? I feel like, how do you feel about that?
I was gonna answer the question.
How do you feel about him doing that bid
for the culture?
For not snitching.
I understand it. Here's the thing, man, and it's unfortunate, right? It's like a lot of us are trying to make it out. We come from nothing. We come from a world, our world that we live in when we're younger, and we're living in the projects, and we're living in the hoods, and we're living in like semi-good areas, but it's still part of a bad area. Like, we don't know any better, right? So I feel like I understood what he did, because at that moment he wasn't Hov. You know, he wasn't a Jay-Z where he's like, yo, I'm gonna get out of Marcy and like I'm gonna come back and do something for community. He was still on his way out. Mm-hmm. So it ain't like no Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that dude is doing.
That's a fucking clown.
I don't know what he's doing, but
anybody that listens to this and supports his music, literally just don't ever follow me.
Like, honestly, I Bobby, not that obviously my respect to him is never gonna mean shit because he doesn't know me and I don't know him. But I understand what he did, because unfortunately, like I said, in that very moment, when you got your family, your boys that you're coming up with and you're trying to bring up with you, like sometimes you have to take a bid. Sometimes you gotta take an L.
But what do you think about today's day and age, these rappers like pretty much dry snitching on themselves to get clout? So it's like, yeah, I shot home dude at the fucking deli mart 3 weeks ago on a Thursday. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I think they're stupid because.
But that's the thing.
2021.
Do you think that it's like you pretty much brought that upon yourself?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
So you're gonna sit there and rap about all the killings and all the robberies you've done and this and that. It's like back then, our growing up, it's like they would rap about it, but it's not like, yeah, I killed that, you know, or my homeboy killed it. Yeah. You know, killed that person. It's just like, nah, they were more lyrically broad in the sense like they just can talk about it and tell a story about it without having to actually include themselves. And you'd be like, hey man, maybe he did it, maybe he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But now
they can't pin it against him.
Now it's like, yo, my boy Joey shot this dude in the face last week. Yeah, that's how we get down. It's like,
yo, it was 2021. They got cameras.
It's like, bro,
HD cameras. Like, they'll be like, oh, word. Let me pull up this song. He said, yo, I was at club blah 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 on 217 blah 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 this time. Oh yeah, getting caught.
And it's not, bro. It's funny because I have family in law enforcement. I have boys in law enforcement, and it's like the way cops now are doing is like they're going on Snapchat, on IG stories. Oh, they're over here on this block or whatever, flashing guns, they're drinking, whatever. They see in the back, like Southwest 104th or whatever, and like 27th or some shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, they're over there, let's go. And then before you know it, you get locked up and you're like, how the fuck is that, bro?
Not only that, look, for one,
yeah,
the feds are always watching.
They're listening right now.
They're listening, you know what I mean? And obviously,
it's like, it's not a joke anymore. Like, it's a proven fact.
Yeah.
That they're always listening, you know? So obviously they have people that listen to keywords and blah, blah, and so they push it together. But just going back to your question, I understand why Bobby did it. I understand. I don't agree with the people that are doing it for clout because I think it's just stupid. Like, I think 50 said it. I can't remember. I was trying to remember the song right now we were talking, but 50 was saying something like, I rap about. What's the song goes? It's like something like, oh, I rap about the shit that I went through. You rap about the shit that you see. It was something like, but not those exact words. It's something like, I think it's the song with him and Eminem. I forgot the name of it. I blanked out right now. But like you said, 50 was just talking about it. But he was never like, yeah, I did this. Like, why are you doing that if you're trying to come up and you're actually getting some traction and you're making some money? Why are you trying to be so hood? Like, I don't believe in keeping it that 100 for the culture.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the thing is that, like, look at Nick. You know what I mean? Like, you can do so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the minute you go back to the hood, you fucking regret it. If something happens and you regret it. Because it's like, you can only do so much, but there's always going to be that one fucker that's going to be like, nah, he made it out. You know what I mean? I'm going to rob him. I'm going to kill this. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can do, I'm not saying to not, but I'm just saying, like, when people like that still stay like so ride or die and still stay in the hood, it's like, bro, just you're not gonna level up there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you definitely have to never forget where you come from and what built you. Your environment made you. You know what I mean? So it's like you are a product of that. But the fact that you're gonna sit there and be like, all right, now I'm gonna be still chilling in the hood. I'm like, bro, if you're an athlete or you're a rapper, or whatever, you're making money. Yeah, you go to your hood and you give back and you chill with them and everything like that. But take it easy. You know what I mean? Because eventually something's gonna happen, or you're gonna get caught up in some bullshit.
yeah, like 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine pretty soon he's gonna get caught up. You know what I mean? Because the problem with 6ix9ine is that he just started everything all backwards. You know what I mean? Like he was making this money and trying to be like, yeah, Brooklyn, my blood, blah blah blah. But when that whole case happened, and he started just snitching on everybody, which I don't agree with. I understand why he did it. Because he was, young buck, whatever, he got in his head and, all this crap. But the energy that he has after that, for what? Like, for clout, like, you're ruining the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people like, I follow a dude named My Son on which he's very respected in New York. He used to be a rapper, he did a bit, came out, and now he's like all about empowerment and just like Black Lives Matter and, just about a movement, right? He was like, this dude is, I don't know what he's doing, but people are starting to glorify snitching, and that's not something that you respect. You know what I mean? So I think that those are things that ruin the culture because, like I said, I feel like there's so much influence that comes from Black culture. There's so much influence that comes from, growing up in the hood and making it out. Like, Jay-Z's a huge influencer. Look at the culture. Like, look at what he does for the culture. He's like, yo, I never forgot I'm from Marcy. You know what I mean? Like,
who's the rapper that said, or was it Derrick Rose? I think it was Derrick Rose that said the flower that grew from the concrete. I don't know if it was a rapper or it was Derrick Rose. Have you ever heard that?
no.
That's like people from the hood that come up and make something of themselves. It is like the symbolism can be something similar to a rose growing out from the concrete, and people always look at that rose like, what the fuck is that rose doing there? But they don't see it's like that rose had to have been amazing to be able to grow through concrete. How does that happen? But they don't see that because it's weird. Like, how is that growing out the concrete?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Derrick Rose. For some reason, that's the only thing that's coming to my head. But it's true. You know what I mean? Like, you are raised in poverty or, some type of adversity, and you make something of yourself. You always pay respects to that. I think it's, I know I'm going to when my time comes. You know what I mean? I know I'm always going to pay respects to all the fucked up shit that I've been through, but I take it as that it is like that's a part of me, but I'm not gonna go back there. You know what I mean? Like I'm always gonna pay respects to all the crazy shit that I've been through in the place that made me, but I'm not gonna be, doing multi-million real estate deals and be chilling on Broad Street in Providence. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck around.
It doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean? Or riding around with people that have something on them or work on them or some shit like that. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But, but then it also falls into, if you don't, then you're brand new. You're acting brand new.
Yeah, or you're a sellout.
Yeah, exactly. You make some money, now you forgot about where you come from. And I think that needs to change. I don't think it will change because there's always going to be something salty about someone else making something of themselves that they can't do.
Yeah.
Or they quote unquote can't do.
Yeah. But
So what do you? I think that. So for example, going back to the whole culture thing, right? Yes, there's a lot of things that happen that people ruin the culture, right? Like we were just saying, the whole dry snitching and taking a bait, whatever, blah blah. Now, how do you think the culture does influence people? Because I think there's a lot more influence that happens versus a lot more hate and like
What kind of influence we're talking about?
any type of influence, like how you dress, right? Let's take that for example. What culture do you think not motivated you, but what culture do you think that you started following that you started dressing the way that you dress?
I mean, when I was younger, obviously hip hop I had the tall tees,
Yep.
do rag, hat on the side, you know what I'm saying? Like little band on the side.
The 50 Cent band?
50
Or the
Cent
T.I.?
band.
Which one?
Nah, I had the
Those
T.I.
are too extreme.
Nah, I had the T.I.
Damn, you had the T.I.?
I had no.
You know there's a joke about that, right?
No, wait, hold on. T.I. is the one that had it on the thing.
T.I. had
Which
his
one was
shit-
50 Cent one?
50, he used to either rock it backwards to the side, but he would layer it with the do-rag.
50. All day 50.
Yo,
Because I used to put my hats backwards. I used to have always Boston, they're in New York.
Yeah.
Had a Boston hat to the back, a little bit to the side, and I used to wear a do-rag and I would tie it up and then I would do like this like ninja tie so it would like stick out. I thought I was fucking fresh. So fresh. And super 3X tall tees. I was like maybe 130, 40 pounds soaking wet.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember to this fucking day, I remember I found a pair of jeans that I wore in high school. They were a size 38. I am probably twice, maybe 3 times the size I was in high school.
And you're still not even.
And I'm 34. How the fuck was I wearing a size 38? And them shits were, I thought I was fine. I thought I was
Jinko
fresh
jeans.
as
Did
fuck.
you ever wear Jinko jeans? They were like, well, up north they used to have Pepe jeans. Pepe jeans were like the big shits.
Nah, I never had paper. I used to rock South Pole.
Yeah, South Poles.
What was the one that started with an L? No, it wasn't Lacoste. It was like,
Nah, Lacoste was a shit. Well, niggas used to rock Lacoste shirts.
nah, what was the
There was one that a lot of people rock, and I still to this day can't pronounce it. It's like Murray the Frankie, whatever the fuck. Murray the Frank Garbad. Remember Garbad? That shit was baggy. The shit with the straps. Like, there used to be a strap around the knee and a strap around the ankle. And it's actually coming back now. I've seen that some people get those jeans fitted. And I was like, yo, I low key might copy a pair.
Wait.
Maury, it's a long ass name. It's just like Eniche. Some people pronounce it Nietzsche.
Eniche.
Yeah, Eniche.
I had academics.
Academics was expensive back then. Like, I couldn't afford academics. My parents would not buy me a $55 academic
Bro,
shirt.
this is what I did. I was 15 years old, and I would go to this place. It's big up north. I don't think they have it down here in Florida. You ever hear of Eblin's?
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys have more Models. It was literally
Models? No, Models in New York. There's no Models here.
You know, I'm saying the place I worked at was literally just like a Models,
Yeah.
which is called Eblin's, and I went there all the time, and I would just ask the lady every day, like, can I get a job here? Can I get a job here? Can I get a job here? And she was like, no, like, you're too young, and this and that. And finally, like, I had 15, about to turn 16. No, I was actually 15 when I got the job. And she was like, okay, I can only let you work here a couple hours a week or whatever. I was
I'll take
like,
it.
let's go.
I'll take it.
And I died with literally every cent I made on that job. I just got fresh. I would just like buy everything.
What was your first pair of sneakers that you got off of the culture? Like, that you got because it was so influenced by the culture?
I'm gonna try and post a picture of this, but I have a picture of myself as a baby, as a kid.
Nah, but that's different. You're a kid. That you didn't know about culture. You didn't know about influence
I
from
was
hip hop.
fly.
No, I caught a couple pictures. I was like, yo, my parents got me some cool nights.
Bro.
When I was a baby though.
I had I have a picture.
I was 3.
I'm gonna have to find it.
They just gave up.
What you said?
I said I was fresh as a baby, and I don't know. They just gave up.
Because they
on
were
me
cheap
after
with the little booties.
Yeah, because they were like $20. But obviously, my first pair of sneakers were like, I'll never forget this shit. They were royal blue and white Uptowns. Well, Uptowns we call
Air Forces.
Air Forces.
Yeah.
But they were canvas. So there was like, yo, when I pulled up to high school and I was so hyped because I didn't have no money. I had to, you know what I had to do? I had to save my lunch money. My mom gave me $5 every day for lunch, deacon, right? Well, what I would do is, Marvin knows about this still. what I would do is I would just buy a cookie, because a cookie was 30 cents. And then the milk was free, so I would just eat cookie and milk, cookie and milk, cookie and milk. Because I'm like, yo.
Cookies and some apple juice.
Yeah. I was like, I gotta get these Uptowns that are coming out this week. Or I gotta get this long ass tea and I need $50. You know what I mean? Like I just say, and man, when I got those Air Forces, that's what made me want to start a sneaker collection.
I never got into like sneakers like that. I know that I had, working at Edlands, I always had fresh whites.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And I didn't give a shit.
Because you can't wear them once they turn yellow.
No, once they turn yellow or someone fucks up the laces or some shit, obviously you can get other laces, but like it's just not the same.
Yeah.
I remember my first day of high school, my first day of freshman year. That's when Cameron started rocking pink.
The pink.
Shout out to Cam, man.
Shout out to
Dipset.
Shout out to
yo. What time was Dipset?
Yo,
I was
Dipset.
my crew, yo, TC knows. We used to call each other TC. So my crew was Marvin, Rodrigo, Nick, and Nelson.
The cornballs?
And well, there's only one cornball in there, but
okay, we already.
yeah, we already know. But yeah, man, and man, we literally, I don't think people understood what scissor was. We found a
Place here that sold scissors.
and we would walk around in pink and purple to any house party. It doesn't even matter.
Bro.
But that's, again, it's just going back to cultures. It's culture, man. Like, people don't pay enough respects to hip hop artists, to models.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, black models.
So, bro,
You know.
listen. For example, Ace of Spades.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact, I'm going to look it up, but I don't know the exact financials or statistics about it. But their profitability on Ace of Spades, I think it's Jay-Z and Diddy, right?
Yeah. I don't think Diddy has anything to do with that.
It's Jay-Z and somebody else. But that is literally, they use the cheapest grapes or whatever the fuck it's all made out of.
Mm.
It's just a brand. It's just the way they marketed it. It's like,
And
just like Cristal.
Yeah.
It's literally like, yo, people are buying it just to be like, I got an Ace of Spades bottle.
It's the same shit with that whole Azul.
Casa Azul?
Casa Azul, right?
Casa Azul is pretty good though, I can't lie.
I haven't had
It's
it.
smooth. It's smooth as fuck. I actually fuck with it.
But it's with everything. Look at Rick Ross. Shout out to Rick Ross. But him with the whole rosation. Rosé's been out. So why is it a big thing now? Because Rick Ross got in and said, yo, I'm gonna do Bel Air Rosé.
Yeah.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, you could take anything right now. We could take something right now. Great idea.
Just like sure.
A liquor. Just five. Oh, let's do a liquor. Let's do liquor. We're talking about. Well, you know what? Fuck it. We'll do
No,
a pair. No, we'll do a pair because it's a perfect example.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Sean John.
We'll do exactly. So Sean John is backed up by Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually his legal name.
Is
Sean
it?
Puffy. It's Sean Puffy Combs.
Yeah, Sean Puffy Combs.
Yeah, Sean
It was
Puffy.
like Puff Daddy. Then
Yeah, if he did, he couldn't make a response.
But the point is that once you get to where he was at, you could do anything and it'll move because people just follow people and people follow trends,
Exactly.
right? And that's what creates the culture. That's what creates movements. That's what creates like trend, like
The fact that Cameron had men
wear pink.
you know what I mean? Which that shit was just like pink, either gay
Yeah.
or you're a female. The fact that I fucking remember this shit like it was yesterday. I went to my first day of high school and I wore a pink button up. I wore like white, like light wash jeans, white Air Forces, and I had pink diamond earrings with a pink headband, like fucking Tyson, like what's his name, Jason Terry, basketball,
Yeah.
like NBA,
Yeah.
pink headband, and with gray contacts.
Wow, you're one of those guys.
I thought I was the flyest motherfucker in this entire world, bro. And it's crazy because I walked into school, boom, I walked in like, everyone's like, it was literally like half and half, like, you're wearing pink?
Yeah.
And then the other half was like, yo,
He got the juice. You know what I'm saying? Like
homeboy, you know, he knows what he's doing.
he's on it.
But I did get a lot of shit, you know what I mean? Because like the high school I went to, it was like literally like half white, half black, and we had like a small Hispanic demographic.
Yeah.
And the Hispanics and that, we stayed together. We had like our own little crew and all kinds of shit. But the whites were like, are you here? And I was just like,
Damn, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good.
The white people were like, what are you doing with a pink shirt on? And like the blacks and like the Hispanics were like, we get it. You know what I mean? Like that's that camera shit. But it was like no one had the balls at that point. I was just like, you know what, fuck, I think I could actually play this off. Mm-hmm. And thankfully it kind of went well.
You know what's crazy? That everybody, I'm not even saying whites, blacks, anyway, Latinos, whatever. Everybody's quick to judge, right?
Wow.
But after a while, everybody follows a trend, right? So my thing was with this, right? When it comes back to culture, right? We know that hip hop plays a huge part in the influence of culture of how we dress. Hip hop has to be number one. When the fuck have you ever said, oh my god, this country singer has these dope boots, I gotta go get it. Like, it's very rare. It's usually like an influence from an entertainer, but it's usually
or they did a collab with a hip hop artist or some funny shit.
But it's usually music, right? Like music, you see music videos, and then you see people like, damn, I like what they wore, or they're wearing. Yeah. Let me throw it on, and it becomes a trend. For one, I don't think that tall tee shit is ever gonna come back.
I can't see that going back.
Don't get me wrong, I rock a lot of tees that are long, but I'm also tall.
They're fitted, though.
But they're fitted. Yeah. It's not the same as me being
swimming in
130 pounds and rocking a 4X long tee.
Where I could literally put 4 of my body in that one thing.
But whatever, going back to my point, I think that it's so important, and I think people should just understand and just normalize, like, it's okay to say, I like that, from wherever you're from. And it's usually the white people that talk shit about it, but then, you know what, guess what, go to a concert, and they're over here jamming to A Boogie or whoever, 21 Savage.
Listen.
Like, it's okay, you could, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you want to wear some Uptowns or you want to wear some Jordans, and I know mad white swaggy people.
Oh, OD. Like, in college, for those of you that don't know, I was a founding father of a fraternity. And at those fraternity parties, at all the parties in college, the hoodest trap music you will ever hear. All the white all this other shit.
I'm like to say nigga though.
Nah, they'll say it.
Yeah.
They'll say it. But the fact is just like it's like they're listening to this music and I'm like, they're idolizing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of the people, there are some white people that are hood as fuck and that grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
But there's also some people that I see, I'm like, I know where you come from, I know who your family is, and you're talking about like, from the hood, this and that. It's like,
because they want to fit
you don't know what that life is like, and if you were put into that life, you would know that it's not the shit.
You would run right back.
You would run right back to your house in Long Island or some funny shit, and live your comfortable life. But now, fast forward to today, in the places that I work at, all of the girls, white guys, white girls, Hispanic, black, everyone's wearing Air Forces.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's wearing Air Forces or Jordans.
That shoe is a staple.
And I'm talking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. And I'm like, how the fuck? But hey, man, I mean, it's the culture.
It's the culture. And
it's not to you.
So now that we're on the topic, right? How do you feel about, because this is something that some people are just indifferent about, like some people just don't care, and some people actually really take it personal. How do you feel about white people saying nigga? It's tough because I know I'm cool with a lot of white people that I'm okay with them like saying nigga. Like it's like, my thing, I think it becomes a problem when you use it against a person. You know what I mean? Like,
it's funny because there's certain white people that can, not saying that it's like acceptable, but there's certain white people that kind of have like a certain vibe about them that it's like they say it and you're just like, okay. It's just like you don't even really think about it, it just kind of like goes over your head. And then there's some people that say it and you're like, wait, what did you just say?
But have you ever gotten like offended by somebody saying it in conversation, not against you? Because I feel like obviously, like if somebody say, yo, what's your problem? N-I-G-G-E-R, that's always going to be a problem.
Oh no, they're going to get fucking throat punched.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. But like, have you ever been in a place where like, you're having a conversation or whatever, and obviously it's like a mixed crowd. For example, the party.
Yeah.
My party was a mixed crowd. I'm okay with any demographic. I love,
Bro, I love
gay
people,
white people, Chinese people. I don't care what you look like.
Gay, lesbian, white, black, Asian, fucking.
It doesn't matter.
Campesino, whatever the fuck you are.
Matter.
Like,
if you're here for a good
if you
time,
have good vibes,
you're
bro, you can be a fucking alien from fucking Saturn, bro. And I'm like, yo,
Don't
that's
say
my
that.
homie.
Don't say that because they're around the corner too.
They're here right now,
They're
bro.
coming to
They're on a
take
different
over.
frequency. We just can't see them.
But you see, like, I think that a lot of times, people make things a bigger deal than it is.
Yeah.
But I know that's a very touchy subject.
It is touchy, and it's funny because when I lived in Atlanta, I almost got jumped by like 15 people. 15 black dudes and black women off of that word. And it wasn't even me that said it. It was Halloween, so I'm dressed up like a fucking sailor, about to get my ass jumped.
That's what you were about to get jumped.
Dead
Because
ass.
you were saying.
So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why the fuck. No, because the woman that I was with at the time, she was dressed as a mermaid, so I was like a sailor that caught her. I don't fucking
Oh my god, so romantic.
You know.
So,
You gotta do what you gotta do. For
my
the
bad,
people
no
you care about.
Santos.
You know what I'm saying? So, my boy was talking to his girl at the time, and he said like, oh, like, yeah, whatever, like, he's like, yeah, my nigga, or some shit like that. And like, there was like this drunk black girl that was standing there, and you already know she was trying to start problems. Like, she was just sitting there like, arms crossed, like mad miserable, sitting there. I'm like, okay,
waiting for something. So
you know, did your boyfriend cheat on you tonight, or like what? Like, you just don't have a man? What's good? So she was like, what? What the fuck did you just say? And she starts screaming, like in the middle of downtown Atlanta, predominantly black downtown Atlanta. Yo, they're saying, like, she was saying the N-A-G-G-R.
Wow.
They're saying this, and I'm like, yo, I'm light skinned. They're not gonna think I'm Hispanic.
Yeah.
My boy is light skinned. He's Dominican, also light skinned. His girl, Mexican, light skinned. So we're just sitting there, and she's screaming, and just a crowd starts coming around us. Like, literally, like a fucking Coliseum type shit. And I'm like,
And you're tall, so you've seen this shit from out
I'm
there.
already seeing everybody, like,
Moving.
I see, like, everyone gathering up, and I'm like, first of all, it was cold as fuck, because in Atlanta, in the wintertime, it was cold as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I'm like, bro, my knuckles, I can't even make a fist. So the first person I crack, I'm probably gonna break my shit. So I'm like, fuck. So then the girls end up, because my boy's girl was like, oh, like, whatever, bitch, fuck you. They end up getting into like a little scuffle, and some dude comes up from behind my boy with an umbrella and tries to crack him across the back of the head.
Yeah.
So I like snatched the fucking umbrella out the dude's hand, and I just like pushed him. And then like thankfully, there was like one dude that was in the crowd that was like, yo, everybody relax, like, yo, chill. And I was like, bro, listen, this chick's wilding out. And he was like, nah, like, that's my girl. And I was like, oh, so she has a man. He's like, nah, I know she's drunk, she's tripping. Thankfully, nothing happened. But it's crazy how that can just be
Escalate just like that.
just like that.
Yeah.
And it, bro, all that shit happened in a matter of like 3 minutes. I felt like I was in there for half an hour.
But would you say that you agree with why minorities or black people and
No,
minorities are
100%.
it's just like a trigger that it's like they'll ask you what'd you say, if you notice anytime anything ever pops off and it's because
What
of
the fuck
that,
did you just say?
they'll just ask you once and wait, yo my man, what did you just, and it's just like
Whatever you're gonna respond after that, but it bought out there.
Yeah.
You know, because it's gonna be one of those things where like you're gonna get your shit rocked.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, there has been people that have said it that I just look at them like, bro, come on.
You just feel bad, like
It's almost like I just like look at them like, come on. You know what I mean? Like you know you shouldn't be saying that.
you know better, and you're sad, like you're ignorant. Like
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I feel like, well, at this age,
I remember getting it called the NIGGR
in middle school, and I'll never forget his name is Gilberto. I'll never forget this shit.
I'm like, bro, you calling me that with a name like Gilberto?
yo, and he was like, yo, stop being stupid, NIGGR, right?
And I'm like, I've never, that shit's never happened to me, because I was to be,
but he didn't know who I was, like I knew
everybody in middle school, in high school. I've always had bad friends. So I was like confused. I was like, what? And we're in the middle of the basketball court. I was like, yo, first of all, it's 7:30 in the morning.
like we haven't even started school, yo, guys, and then he did it again.
But you know, when we're young, you follow a lot of shit that you see. So maybe his parents were like that.
Yeah.
And he didn't know the severity.
Yeah,
Yo,
but sometimes you need to get slapped in the fucking mouth so that you learn.
he got slapped alright.
Not by me, because he was like, I was like, what? And I was cool with the dude, you know? I was like, first of all, you're Hispanic. You know that I'm not black. Like, but the point is that you even went there, and I was like, dude. And then I you see one of my boys named Jeffrey just come up, smack. Not even smack, it's just like lay him out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, don't go there, because you know, I don't think you understand the severity of it.
Yeah.
You know, so that goes back to like the whole Karens that's going on,
Yeah.
you know, with the world and all that shit. And like, it's like,
Have you ever been in like a place where someone's being like racially profiled? Or like bullied or any type of way, like in that aspect?
not to something where it is, not to something where actually like, no.
See, the thing is like, obviously,
Because I wish that
100%. Like if I ever, and I have been in situations like that where I've always been a protector, and like I've told you before, I've been that way since I was a kid, you know, and I've been in a situation where someone's bullying somebody else, and I just hop in like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, are you fucking stupid? Like, I've never been in a situation where someone's in a public, like calling someone the N-word or something like that. I would lose my fucking mind. I just know how I am, and like degrading somebody in a certain way in front of people, literally drop. Like, there's no other way to get me to see the other side of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the bad side of me.
Yeah.
But I remember like in high school, some kid had like knocked down this kid's books, like in front of everybody. And the kid had like, he was like a nerdy kid, he had like mad books, mad papers, and it went everywhere. And I fucking yoked that kid. I was like, bro, if you don't pick up every fucking piece of that paper, I'm gonna knock your ass out.
Yeah,
Don't ever fucking see, I don't wanna ever see that shit to anybody in the school ever again.
Yeah.
Yo, Chong, I'm like, don't ever do that shit again.
Yeah.
And the kid looked at me like, bro, like, thank you so much. Because he wasn't, you know what I mean? But it's like, it doesn't even have to be like on some bullying shit, like physically. Like, if someone's mentally bullying somebody else, like, where they're degrading them, like, racially or whatever, or financially or whatever, bro, I don't know why, but that shit, like, you're gonna see me just go ape shit.
Yeah.
Ape shit.
I agree 1,000%. And honestly, you know how, this shit might just, it might blow up, it might not. But you know who I feel like that about? We were talking about him earlier. About 6ix9ine. I feel like,
yeah,
he's talking so much game, but like, for one, we all knew and we all heard how you were begging for your life a year ago. Like, we all knew this.
Bro.
Why? Because you have money and you're paying your security, now you want to be a bully.
No. It's not even that, bro. It gets to the point where the image, you know, with people like that, it's like you have to portray an image, tattoos on the face, all this wild
Tattoos
shit.
on this shit though. I tell people all the
That's what I'm
time.
saying.
I got tattoos. I know people got tattoos.
But there's
on
some
their face.
people that think that is a sign of like,
Don't mess with me.
don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
No.
Of course.
Alright, that don't mean shit. You got a tattoo on your face, fucking amazing, bro. I'm gonna knock your ass out either way.
Cool.
So he has gotten to a point where it's like you can just be like, yeah, nigga, what up? And you can scream into a microphone.
I'm here, pussy.
Yeah.
What's up? Like,
Yeah, it's like,
yo, you know how many
yeah, bro,
dudes I
like
know?
that mic is not gonna slap you in the face, bro. That mic is not gonna do nothing to you. Like, I don't know how people are idolizing him. I think it's just like,
It's ignorance, man.
it's just the younger culture is kind of like, you know, they don't know what to fucking follow. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know what it is, but he's gotten to a point where it's just like out of control. It's like, bro, how do people even like want to, they see his name, like, why do you even want to click? Like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he's like going back to the topic. I feel like he's ruining the culture because it's like, I give him props, yo. Like, he was in, I understood his story. I think they had while he was locked up, they did a documentary on, I don't know if it was Hulu. I forgot where it was that I watched it. And I was like, okay, now I understand his story, where he came from. He still had a bodega, blah, blah, blah. And then he started trying to rap and whatever. I respect that. Like, that's the definition of like,
the come up.
come up. But it's like, yo, when you get to the point where, yes, you're making bread. First of all, the last 5, 6 songs you made are trash.
They're all
If you're talking to somebody that's, because I'm older than him, so like I grew up listening to Biggie, I grew up listening to Big L, like now you know what I'm saying, like the people that actually really rap.
Yeah.
So for me, you're fucking up the culture because you're trying to make it cool to be this big bad wolf of 6ix9ine tatted up. Yo, tattoos do not make you gangster. tattoo, like, I understand your story.
Screaming into a microphone doesn't make you gangster.
I understand where you came from and, you know, how you can have rage because growing up in Brooklyn, growing up in New York, growing up in anywhere up north, you have to have thick skin. I get it. Yeah. But yo, my man, if you're making that much bread, quédate tranquilo. Yeah. Like, you're gonna get a lot further than instead of having to watch your back everywhere you go. You're ruining the culture. Yeah.
And you're ruining your own life.
And you got, you know what, but it's the image. He's not selling that life because he's not. Because if he was selling that life, he would have been doing the bid right now for all that racketeering and all that shit that he was on.
But also, he's not living off of his music. He's living off of like the controversy. He's getting paid off of controversy.
Of course.
So it's like nowadays, controversy, it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? My music, everyone, you know I'm not that good.
He leverages.
It's whatever. Well, let me be controversial so then people listen to my music. And then the interviews and this and that, blah, blah, blah. That's where you're going to make most of your money off of because other than that, your music's fucking trash, bro.
It's, like you said it, he's getting paid for views. Like every time he drops a song, he's like, yo, I did 1 million. I'm like, I don't think people are tuning in because of your music. I think people are actually tuning in because you figured out I can get these people to just follow and listen and click on my video.
Because they want to see what kind of wild shit.
What kind of wild shit you're doing. But you're not, your music is trash. Bro. Like we can all admit to it. Your music is trash and you're fucking up the culture. And I know a lot of people are not messing with him. Like, and this, you know, at the end of the day, it's always been the same thing. The top artists come from New York, possibly LA in the West Coast, and then the South started making like an impact, right? In the whole, like, just the whole game, right? I think he's ruining the culture. I think he's making it okay to like have tattoos in your face. I don't think that's my personal opinion. I don't think that's okay because now you're gonna go to a regular Joe Schmo that's in high school, and he's gonna say, "Oh, go get your shit tatted up in your face." I'm doing it. Yeah, you know what? You're a millionaire. You can do that. You know what I mean? Like, don't say that to somebody that's trying to figure out their life in high school. You know, high school is like it's tough years.
It's vulnerable ages.
High school, some people like, they lose their shit in high school. I've seen people think that they like, oh, I'm gonna get a scholarship to this, to that, to that, and they lose their shit in high school and become like literally bums.
Or custies. AKA custies up north means like drug addicts.
Yeah. So whatever. I mean, we can go on. I think we have so many points to go on the culture. Like it's just, but I wanted to focus on the good, man, because I know there's a lot of good in the culture. Like I said, when it comes to like how we started off with music and like just like any culture you are, you know, Cuban, Puerto Rican. Like I respect Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans dance salsa like crazy. You know what I mean? And I love that. Like I've been to Puerto Rico.
And there is a beef between Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, but
only in New York though.
Yeah?
It's only in New York.
I think it's the up north thing, because even in Providence.
Yeah, okay, up north. But like here, that doesn't exist. In Puerto Rico, that doesn't exist. I've been to Puerto Rico and they're like, oh, where you from? I'm like, oh, I'm Dominican. Love.
Yeah.
They all like,
I have mad family that are Dominican that live in Puerto Rico.
It's become a thing, and I want to look into it too. It's become a thing in New York. Like, it's really a beef between Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. Like, it's like legit.
It's like that province.
It's legit. Which is crazy to me because I know a lot of Puerto Rican people and they're mad cool.
And the thing is, it's not even, I think it's just like, you know, there's ratchet ass Puerto Ricans, there's ratchet ass Dominicans, there's ratchet ass Venezuela, there's ratchet everything. Mm-hmm. So sometimes people generalize off of that. Like Dominican in Providence, every year, August, there is Dominican Festival. Mm-hmm. Every fucking year, there's some ratchet ass Puerto Ricans that go and drive up and down Providence with their Puerto Rican flag. They have a festival a week after ours. Or like a week before, a week after ours. Yeah. So it's like, do that shit at your own. You know what I mean? Like, we don't go to the Puerto Rican festival and be like with Dominican flags. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of people going off of just that small demographic of people. One of my best friends that I have is Puerto Rican. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, people generalize, but it is what it is. You know, I know that it's a very big up north thing where it's like, are you Puerto Rican? All right, here we go. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do?
It's one of those things that I don't know where it originated from.
Someone fucked someone's wife or some shit.
Most likely.
It's usually some bullshit like
Most likely it was a Dominican that took some Puerto Rican's joint and then like Puerto Rican got pissed and then he went to go do his eyebrows
out of just curiosity. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's the thing too, in New York. Like Puerto Ricans always have their eyebrows on fleek, like better than women.
Yeah.
Shit is weird, but whatever. Like I said, I mean,
I don't understand why it's a thing, because I feel like all these things that are just being generated should just stop. Like we should just protect culture. Like we're all Hispanics. Like we all have so much genuine shit.
I remember some shit that Gooms said, our boy Gooms. He was like, that he was talking with, you know, in his past, he was talking to some girl and her ex or her man was Puerto Rican. And he's like, bro, the dude that her ex, Puerto Rican. So that means, it's like as soon as you say that, when it comes to women, you just like, you just know, it's like when you know like how Puerto Ricans are with their women, like very like territorial, very jealous. When he said it, I was just dying laughing. I don't know why that just made me.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Shout out to Gooms.
Shout out to Gooms, man.
Shout out to Gooms.
He talked a lot of shit this weekend, but
I know he called me a fucking walking beneath. That shit had me dying though. That shit was fucking hilarious.
He
I was
was
like,
still wearing
damn.
his fucking Naruto t-shirt. Honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But
I think we should rack it up, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. 1000%. We went off a little off topic, but
Yeah.
look, man, culture. Of course, as always, I'll let you take us home, and then I'll put my 2 cents down and let you take us home.
You let me do it? Okay.
Yeah.
But like I said,
That bitch, I just said I was gonna do it. And
oh, you
take
are.
us
Sorry,
home.
my bad. Sorry. Take the lead, man.
I always take the lead. I said I'll give you my 2 cents and you take us home.
Alright, cool.
Damn.
I
gotta take the
already
gym
finished my
over.
drink.
I know, me too. I'm a little. So just
Culture, racism, just life.
Mhm.
We're all one, man.
The thing is, bro, like I said,
I'm not done.
oh, sorry. That's just how it
Because everybody was talking like, well, he be cutting you off a lot. I'm like,
ask?
yeah. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so when I hear it play it back. But you just did it. I was like, I said, let me get my 2
I thought you
cents.
were gonna make it. And for just for fucking disclosure, I'm not the type to be cutting anybody off. It's sometimes that like, you know, the liquor starts kind of getting warm and you're like, you get
You want
impulsive.
to just talk and talk and talk. Like you want to just,
Like, we want
Bro,
to
like-
stay on the subject so much.
Like literally, I can literally keep talking about this culture shit and I can be here for 4 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Let's make it clear, right? Like,
obviously we're trying to keep you guys engaged and everything. We don't want to be boring. Like we can talk about this shit for 3 hours.
Easily.
And it'll be like still like, but we're trying to keep ourselves to like 40, 45 minutes because I know
The attention
we
span.
understand how like
the attention span works. Not everybody has 3 hours to watch a video or listen in.
Yeah.
So like this is the hard part about the podcast. You know, we cut ourselves short. We definitely want to keep touching on the topic, but
I feel like we both have a very deep past, so it's like we can relate to so many diverse things, and there's so many stories that we can keep going into. So it's like I'm trying to be just short and sweet, but it's like I have so much experience in the sense like I've been through a lot of different things. So it's like any type of topic I can be like, bro, I have 15 stories I can talk about right now.
yeah, it's gonna pass the time. Like it's gonna.
And the time is just like boom, 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 boom. Right now we've been talking an hour,
Yeah.
and I feel like I've been only talking for like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No,
It's
sorry
what
to
it
cut you
is.
off.
no, it's cool. It's cool. Like I said,
My 2 cents on this, so we can wrap up.
Go ahead.
Culture, man. Culture, people, racism. We don't have to make it a thing if it's really not a thing. You know, racism does exist. I've witnessed it. Okay, but as far as culture, like white people, it's okay. It's okay to want to dress like the hip hop artists, have a swag. It's okay. It doesn't matter if you're white, Mexican, Dominican. Everybody should get along. The world would be such a better place if everybody just understands the different cultures and just takes a piece from everybody that they come across, right? That's the way I see life. That's the way that my perception of life is. I take everything that I learn from everybody, and everybody's different in my circle. You could tell from Saturday, and I'm okay with that. So just keep embracing people, keep embracing cultures, and just embrace whatever you want. At the end of the day, you're an adult, you're your own person, you can be your own identity. That's it. I'll let you wrap this up.
May I talk now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, man. No, I mean, like I said, as long as the vibes are good, bro, I don't give a shit who you are, where you're from, if you're broke, you're poor. I mean, you're broke or rich, whatever. Like, I don't give a shit. Sorry, this is making me burp. Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I love vibing with people. And if, like, you're not cultured and you have some type of hatred towards people, fucking travel, man. Go somewhere else and see how other people live. And you'll see that you vibe with other people from other countries and see that not everybody's a fucking asshole. You meet one black person that treats you like shit or that is a piece of shit, doesn't mean all black people are a piece of shit. When you meet one fucking Hispanic person that's an asshole or cut you off on the road, doesn't mean that every Hispanic person is an asshole. Likewise with white people. Us minorities, the same shit. Doesn't mean we meet one fucking Karen that's in a fucking Whole Foods that's acting crazy. Doesn't mean that all white people are like that. You know what I mean? If you guys have good vibes and everyone just, you just chills, man, just has a, good energy, we'll be alright, man.
Facts.
And I'm sorry for cutting you off so much.
I don't take them. I think it's hilarious.
Listen, I'm calibrating little by little. The swearing, all this stuff. Actually,
You get
can I
them
say
the rules.
can I say real quick? I talked to 2 people at your party. That one of them I knew and one of them I had just met. Should I say the names? No, I won't say the names. So they both told me, listen, man, you are who you are. Don't stop swearing. The people that are gonna fuck with you, are the people that are gonna fuck with you no matter what.
Yeah.
Not whether you swear or you don't. It's all about the message you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what, man, I've been kind of beating myself up about the fucking swearing. And, I just need to, cut it down a little bit, but also know that is who I am.
Yeah.
So if you guys have
So my mom.
All right, man, that's a wrap. Episode 6.
Episode number 6.
Prolific Podcast coming live from Cafe Con Leche Studios Incorporated.
Appreciate you guys tuning in, man.
Yeah. Be safe, man.
Stay black.
Stay black, stay white, stay brown.
Stay whatever you want. And just vibe.
Hey, that's right. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Peace.